has an original and unique name. The other one named themselves after a shoe brand. What do you do with shoes? You walk all over them. Let's start the show.
A tale as old as time, a song as old as rhyme. Once one of the greatest rivalries in all of sports, the Colorado Avalanche and the Detroit Red Wings. Will they renew a bloodbath battle tonight?
I'm just trying to figure out which one's Beauty and which one's the Beast.
I think we're probably the Beast right now. I like where I was going with that. Yeah, I was trying. Or you and me, who's Beauty and Beast?
I'm definitely the Beast.
Yeah,
I think, on that one.
I don't know. We both got the facial hair going right now. Like I said, I was gonna get rid of this, and then I went to Thanksgiving, and my buddy's 13-year-old son was like, "Dude, you look like Tony Stark," and I was like,
"Guess I gotta keep it now.
I'll keep it for a little while." What's up, everybody? It's the DNVR Avs pregame show, and we are, of course, presented by the wonderful friends at Coors Light. And when the mountains are blue, Weirdo knows. You are always partying and having a good time. We thank Coors Light so much for being a part of it. We got a fun one for you tonight. The first of what do you guys call it? Sega Baba.
Sega Baba, yeah.
Sega Baba.
This is the first. The next one's the Sega Baba.
All right, next one's the Sega Baba. So big one here tonight against the Detroit Red Wings. Lots to talk about. Some roster changes, some lineup adjustments. We will get into all of that. Tiffany helping us out as well tonight too, who we love. Big one here. Listen, these games are opportunities to bounce back from a game that you maybe didn't like after you had a real good one. Let's get the big stuff out of the way, and then we'll just kind of let it, simmer, and we'll talk about it more. Alexander Georgiev getting the start, not a surprise. This is the easier of the two back-to-backs.
True.
They would love to build a little bit of confidence in him. I fully believe that Wedgwood will start tomorrow, and that tells you lots and lots of little things. We'll get to this in more in detail later, so no need to put up graphics or anything right now, but Miles Wood goes to LTIR, freeing up about $2.3 million in cap space, and we get Colton back.
Yep. Yeah, Colton's a big deal. We talked about it the other night. I think it's important for the Avs lineup to hopefully get some more stability back into that forward core.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll talk about it more in a little bit. As far as the Avs are concerned, the thing you started off with, though, look, these types of bounce back games are at this point mandatory. For Colorado.
That's
they have not
win.
taken advantage of the opportunities they presented themselves. They've not put themselves over the hump when it comes to getting away from 500, when it comes to securing a playoff spot for themselves, which I know there's still a long way to go. But every time you give a game back, like they did the other night against Carolina, you have to go out and win. You have to go out and get those 2 points back. You can't really get them back, but you have to earn yourself more points because you didn't earn them at the opportunities you already had. So these games are important. I don't think it's life or death yet. We're not in that situation, but these games are becoming more important by the day for Colorado to win.
Yeah, and ironically, the Carolina Junior Hurricanes 16U AAA team is in town right now playing in a tournament. So I spent the last 2 games with, or 2 days with Justin Williams watching his son, Jackson, who's my godson, play over at DU, and we had a conversation about the other night as well, and he's just like, dude, we're in the same boat you guys are.
Yep.
We got tons of trouble in goaltending.
Yep.
We're like this roller coaster, hot and cold. He goes, I feel like we're both like fighting for the same 2 or 3 goalies that are out there right now.
Yep.
So I was like, well, I'm not saying anything to you right now, brother.
The bidding war is coming.
I think it's coming. I do. I honestly, I think the bidding war is coming.
Might already have started behind the scenes.
Yeah,
that way.
but always fun seeing Justin Williams. And if you're a betting person, you will see his young son Jackson probably in the NHL at some point.
Thank you for the $7, Allie. Unfortunately, no watch along tonight. The geniuses at the NHL and NBA scheduled the Nuggets and Avs on the same day for 4 games in a row. So thanks for that, leagues. We really appreciate you for that.
We're sorry about that. But if you guys want to hit us with like maybe we do like a Twitter or a Q&A somewhere. I don't know. If you guys have any cool ideas of how we can interact with you, even when there's not a watch along going on. I mean, we're here at the DNVR bar on Colfax in York watching the game. I mean, literally, you could come and sit with us and watch along with us in the bar, and we'll probably buy you a shot or 10.
And win a snowboard tonight.
Oh, that's right. Huge opportunity. Oh, wait, do we have that actually, Tiff? Is that a thing? We'll get to it in a second. But yeah, if you come to the DNVR bar tonight, we mentioned it the other day, but chance to win a snowboard from Never Summer, which is super, super cool. Come on down to the bar and get in on it. We're going to be hanging out, having some drinks, eating some food, rising and falling with you guys on it. So literally, Colfax in York, fun time, great place, good food, drink specials. We got all that for you.
Follow us on Twitter, too. I always tweet during the games.
Yeah.
More so, especially when there's not a watch along. So if you want to see me be mad and rant about stuff, it's on Twitter.
Yeah. Multiple studios, connectivity, somewhat of a question, working that out right now. So just bear with us, but we're coming along.
Yeah.
The DNVR
hopefully
broadcast complex is being adjusted.
In the year 2025.
Yeah, look at that. That
should not be a problem anymore. But that is a sick snowboard, actually. That's crazy.
I'll actually make a deal. If you all come down to the DNVR bar and you win that thing in person, and if you sign up to become a diehard, I will go snowboarding with you and I will pay for the day pass. Done.
That's an expensive gift.
It is an expensive gift, but that is what I will do. If you win that in person, you have to win it in person, Tiff? Okay, so yeah, if you win that thing in person and you sign up to be a diehard and you buy the Good Stick Lecky shirt, buy, not be given.
Now you're getting your money's worth, yeah.
Then I will go snowboarding with you for a day at the Vail Resort of your choice on me. Boom.
Yeah. It's not about the watch alongs, chat. They have a post game to do in the middle of our watch along, so it just doesn't work out.
They literally don't do the amount of watch alongs that we do.
Yeah, we do the most watch alongs.
Bruto wearing a GoPro for a POV watch along is actually a really good idea. It's a lot of this.
Just pouring beers down my throat.
And then it's a lot of this. But let's talk a little bit more before we get to E's 3 keys about your stats for tonight.
Let's just prepare yourself for psychic damage here, all right? The last time the Avs won a first period, not tied, not played well, but didn't score, is over a month ago. November 5th was the last time the Avs won a first period. It's getting ridiculous at this point.
Then.
Yeah, I know, right?
We're different people then.
I didn't even know who I was back then.
No, I didn't know. My hair's changed since then. I've got facial hair.
It's actually absurd. They have to figure it out. They have to find a way to do better in the first period. I don't care what it is.
Kid.
That's a lot. That's fast in a month. That's
car.
Impressive. Yeah.
Quit
That one's
drinking.
actually true. Yeah. With that being said, Detroit is an extremely beatable team. The Avs should dominate possession in this game. Detroit is horrible with the puck, and they're one of the worst teams in the league at producing at 5-on-5. So the Avs have to be more disciplined. Do not take penalties against this team. The one place they can burn you is on the power play. If you don't take penalties, you really should win this game. The problem is you're going to have to beat their goaltending. I don't think they have the best goaltenders in the world, but they've played very, very well this year, especially at 5-on-5. They have one of the best save percentages in the league compared to the Avs, literal league worst still in goal. So you just need to beat their goaltender. The reality of your goaltending situation is what it is, barring something crazy happening, which I bet on tonight. But barring that, they're going to need to outscore some of their problems and find a way to beat some good goaltending. And if they do that, they should really be a pretty easy win tonight.
You do remember I am from Detroit, right? I know that's going to come up at some point.
I do remember,
yeah.
but you're not even a Wings fan, so it's fine.
I was never a Wings fan. Like, honestly, when I was growing up, I get that a lot because I worked in Chicago, too. I was never a Wings fan. Growing up, did I ever tell you what team I was from? Yeah. I was a Mario Lemieux fan, so I was a Pittsburgh Penguins fan growing up. My little brother, Gavin, who's a Marine, God bless him. Thank you, troops. he was the big Wings fan. His room was like completely decorated in Detroit Red Wings stuff, and I was all 100% Mario Lemieux and the Penguins.
I mean, pretty good player to follow. Him and
pretty
Yager
good,
back then. Yeah,
he was pretty good. Ronnie Francis was there. Kevin Stevens was there. Tom Barrasso was there. It's a good team.
a bunch of okay dudes and Mario Lemieux.
Yeah, a bunch of okay guys in Mario.
Even more super chats from Allie. Thank you so much. My boyfriend and I are from Nova Scotia and might be going to Colorado in February. We're huge Av fans. Mind if you stop by the DNVR to say hi to you guys? Please do. Anytime you're in town.
Yes.
If you're coming for an Avs game, we are 100% will be here. If it's not during an Avs game, DM us on Twitter or find us.
We'll meet you.
And we will we'll come have a beer with you or whatever it might be.
We had France and Edmonton in town the other day. That they flew in just because they're Avs fan and literally came here to hang out, and it was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Always a good time.
Bought drinks, hung out. It was chill.
Also, depending on when you're here in February, consider going to the takeover that we're going to have probably in February.
Right.
Some of the dates are getting moved around a little bit.
We'll keep you posted on all that stuff.
Yeah.
But please come hang out with us. I love it when you all come down. I played pickup hockey the other day at Family Sports Center and was in the locker room. We did like a little stick and puck thing.
Yeah.
And was hanging out. Took Billy, my nephew.
Yeah. You invited me, but it was too early for me.
It was a little too early for you. But you would have loved it. We were sitting in the locker room and I was talking and whatever. Me and Billy were getting gear on and everything like that. And guy goes, "Hey man, are you Gizmo?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, bro, I love DNVR."
Hell yeah.
And I was like,
go.
"Oh, no shit." I was like, "Are you like you?" He's like, "I'm a diehard and everything." I was like, "Oh my god."
Awesome.
So we went out, we knocked the puck around a bunch together. We had a great time. It was super
Sick,
cool.
yeah.
So you guys are all, I love hanging out and chatting, and so does Rudo. So come down.
Anytime,
If you're not doing anything tonight, please come down to the DNVR bar on Colfax and York, and maybe win that snowboard, and I'll go snowboarding with you. We'll get to that super chat in just a second, but first, let's hear from our boy Big E with his 3 keys.
Big E's 3 keys. Beautiful Saturday against old friends, the Detroit Red Wings. Fun times there, fun times. Boy, looking back, that was an awesome time. Nothing better than that rivalry back then. But tonight, Game 3 of the road trip against the beloved Red Wings. Key number 1, make it a must-win for this road trip. Make it a must-win for this road trip. You're 1-1. You want to set the tone for the rest of the road trip with that win tonight. You know you got a big back-to-back Segababa tomorrow night against a very strong team, the New Jersey Devils. But let's not worry about the Devils. You got to worry about the Red Wings, and there's plenty to worry about. Don't look at the standings. This is a team that can beat you any night, even though they're not at their best this season. Play with a little bit of passion and hunger is key number 2. Let's get going. I talk about getting the first goal every night. Let's talk about getting a lead after the first. Set the tone. Get after them. No more sitting back. No more waiting for the game to come to you. No more waiting for a bad moment, a bad luck, bad puck luck. Let's just get after it. Create your own puck luck. Get after it. And you want to make sure that you get out of that first period with a lead. Key number 3. Swarm that suspect decor. I believe they are suspect a little bit on the back end. Maybe they lack a little bit of mobility. So if you can't get them on the rush, then go swarm them down low. Go make them make decisions. Go make them turn their feet where they're facing their own goaltender, not facing the Avalanche goaltender. There's a big difference. Make them make decisions below the goal line, below the dot. So if that doesn't work on the rush, don't make it a one and done. Keep swarming, keep going, and try to get those second, third, fourth opportunities. In order to do that, you got to be a hungry dog. You got to be a hungry dog and get on loose pucks and swarm that suspect decor.
Well, if you follow with these 3 keys, Drew's super chat might be correct. He says, Avs win 6-2 with Kale and Nate going off. Let's hope they figure their shit out and get on a run. Look, we all know they're capable.
Yeah.
We all know they have the talent. They have the ability. To be honest with you, I believe in them in every position except for goaltender right now. They could easily rattle off 10 games in a row where they score 5 goals. They have that much ability, but they have to actually go out and do it. And as he said, as I said, as the chat's saying, that starts in the first periods of games. You have to make your life easier as the Colorado Avalanche by giving yourself leads, winning first periods, and not having to dig yourself out every single night.
Middleton getting a Gordy tonight is on the bingo card. Can you bet on that?
I don't think you can bet on a Gordy, but you could bet him to get a goal and an assist.
Gosh, it would be awesome if you could bet on a Gordy. Big E is calling in, obviously. Let's talk hockey in the Rockies now. Yesterday was a wild day. When the New York Rangers news came out about their captain Trouba, I was like, okay, something's up, and it was the
Big chest deal.
The crap sandwich. It's like hit him with bad news and then hit him with good news.
Yeah.
Obviously, Trouba gets traded to the Ducks. They sign Shesterkin to a record deal. I mean, how does this sort of affect the league? I mean, this business happens every day in the NHL, but how does this also maybe affect or influence things with the Avalanche?
I think you have to have, how should I say that? Maybe a balance. You know what I mean? You have to be aware of what's going on around the league. Absolutely, as a team, which falls on management, and as teams, I mean, and as individuals, which all players and their agents, they look around to see what's going on around the National Hockey League and who's doing what and who's signing extensions. And of course, a day like yesterday, it just shows you winning cures all in the National Hockey League. The Rangers had gone a little bit on the skid there. We talk about it all the time when the Avs go on, 2-3 game losing. We're like, you never know what can happen. And I think your job in the NHL, and which falls on former Avalanche, Chris Drury, for example, with the Rangers, is to right the ship and to tighten the ship and to get it going in the right direction. They felt that Jacob Trouba, for example, was no longer needed, and they needed his money to get off the books as well. So you do that in the middle of the season. Some will say it might have been done the wrong way. Again, who knows? We're not conducting business between the two parties. We're not involved, so we'll never know really what the real story is there. But it just goes to show you that you can move on from your captain and one of your leaders in the midseason. And what does that give you? Also, for example, comparing to Mikko Rantanen, where they signed one of their cornerstone, Igor Shesterkin, in net to a record-breaking deal. Highest paid goalie in the history of the league, right there in the middle of December. So, yeah, I mean, I think everybody's human. I think as management, as players, you always have to see what's going on around the league. But at the end of the day, you have to take care of what's in front of you and your own business, and obviously take care of your own backyard.
Yeah, that one shocked me, though. Total wild one there. It's rough when you get rid of your captain. Not sure they did him right or did him dirty, but big rivalry tonight, shifting the focus to the Avalanche. I remember this battle back in the 90s. It was epic. I mean, blood all over the ice, goalies fighting, pets' heads falling off. I mean, it was an intense time. You lived it, buddy. You've told me some stories that are not safe for work, but what were some of maybe like what was the rivalry like, and what were some of the benefits that maybe came from it?
Incredible years. I mean, that's for me as a player, as a highlight probably of my career with the Avalanche. It was absolutely crazy. They make documentaries about it right now. Nothing like today. It was so exciting. It was electrifying. But there's one thing we had, though. We had respect for one another. I'll tell you that. And there was the Lemieux, the Draper, the footy, and all the things that happened and all the brawls. But there was respect because you knew they were good. They knew we were good. And it started, from that playoff series there, obviously in that semifinals in '96. But a lot of respect, a lot of craziness. I mean, we can do a full pod buddy. We'll do a full pod buddy on those days, and we'll probably need 2 or 3 or 4 pods, to connect on all those things. And boy, when you think about it, when you dig deep on this day yesterday, 29 years ago, the Avalanche got Patrick Roy, which was, altering franchise-altering trade. And ironically, one of the reasons why the Avs got Patty was because he got mopped his last game in Montreal by the Detroit Red Wings. So, you can thank the Red Wings a little bit for the Avalanche landing Patrick Roy and obviously becoming an icon in Colorado. But for me personally, I'll tell you one thing, let's not tell anyone, but even for a bottom-of-the-lineup guy like myself, if you would give your 2 home games there at McNichols Arena against the hated Red Wings, then I would get a free car for the year. So even myself, not just the superstars, the Forsberg, the Sakic's, and those guys would get dealer cars. Even guys like me, if I could just give away my 2 tickets, and I wasn't married, didn't have kids at the time, so it was all good. I'm like, these are yours, and you drive a car for the year. So yeah, those were the perks. It was awesome.
I understand it well, buddy. I understand it well. It's a business of trade. It's like living in Vegas. You were, yeah, everything is a game, and it didn't exchange hands unless it was a little something. Real quick, before we get into talking about how the Avs need to A, start on time, and B, play a very solid 200-foot game, let's take a look at the updated injury list. Dr. McDreamy in French. Eric Lacroix has the updates for you. The biggest thing is that the Miles, how do you say? Oh yes, Wood. With that upper body injury, goes to the LTIR. Manson still kind of on that month-to-month, week-to-week situation. Shillington, same. We won't talk about the bottom two because there's nothing to talk about there.
Yeah. Yep. It is what it is. The Avs are. Look, at least it trended in the right direction today. You got a guy back, so that's what counts. Colton back in the lineup he is going to play in the top 6. It looks like next to Middlestat and Chushkin.
Maybe that gets Middlestat going too.
That's my hope. I mean, we'll see. The dude had a broken foot. His skating, we're going to see. First real game back in 6 weeks for the guy. Don't expect too much as far as afterburners or skating speed with him, but hopefully takes a period to get it back under him and then can help Casey Drive play the right direction a little bit.
Yeah, but let's talk about that 200-foot game. So important. You have to be end-to-end. You just have to. And if you jump on a team like... You can use a team like Detroit for a little bit of a confidence boost, too. Play a 200-foot game.
Yep.
Jump on them right away. Focus on having a good first period. They do have Patrick Kane back. DeBrincat is dangerous. Larkin is good. And like him or not, Steve Yzerman is a really good general manager. This is a team that could be dangerous. They have some weapons, but you could take advantage of a bit of a wounded bird right now.
Yeah, I showed you in the stat pack.
See what I did
They're
there,
not.
too.
I did because the wings and then the bird and the red. And
It's an actual bird breed. Yeah, okay.
crazy.
I just pointed it out.
Look, with this team, you should not be giving up a lot at 5-on-5. You just shouldn't be. And that's part of the reason I think we see some of the lineup changes. Middleton is in for Ludwig because Ludwig went 3 straight goals against on the Avs third pairing the other night. A couple of them based directly off of his own turnovers. So they're putting in someone else who hopefully can bring them some defensive acumen on that third pair to help out DeHaan a little bit. And it has to function. The Avs have to find some consistency on both ends of the ice. On the defensive side, it's about giving up fewer high-danger chances than they have. Because I think the Avs defense has been pretty good on the whole, but they're prone to the big mistake. On the forward side, they have to start finishing better. You can't have a 6-goal game once every 2 weeks and say that's good enough. You have to be able to put up 3 or 4 every single night. And not 3 or 4, hey, we scored a couple of late goals to make it close. 3 or 4 when they matter. The Avs have not been a good enough team at scoring goals when it matters, at least in their losses. I'll put it to you that way. The reason they lose is often because they can't finish on their opportunities. You should be able to do both against a team like Detroit. You really, really should. They should be a little bit of a get-right team for you as long as you don't give up a couple of early ones, as long as you don't make your life hard for yourself with things like penalties. I don't want to say it's a game that the Avs should or have to win because every time I say that, some nonsense happens and things get ridiculous. I was calling the Buffalo game a season saver the other day, and then they went out and laid an egg against Carolina. So I guess I should learn to hold my tongue.
Yeah, stop talking.
It's not like it's my job or anything.
Yeah, I mean,
but
just not give us your opinion. That'd be amazing.
But yeah, look, the Avs team, regardless of what level you feel they're at, it should be better than this Detroit team.
Sheep dipped. Glad to have you a part of it, but that's not a thing. Like, sorry, there's no coaching. Jared Bednar is not the problem, brother. In fact, he's my pick for the Jack Adams for many, many, many reasons.
Let me show you the problem one more time.
Yeah, there it is.
There's like a
there it is.
30% chance you're going to put up the picture of a goalie there too.
Yeah, I wasn't sure you were giving us. Wasn't sure you were giving us like a Gorgiev headshot or whatnot. Either works. Tip. You could split screen that, but yeah, this has nothing to do with Jared Bednar. That team is fully behind him, evidenced in complete and total visual scientific proof by the game that they played against the Buffalo Sabres. If you don't believe in your coach, you don't come back. So yeah, Bednar's not going anywhere, and he shouldn't.
Yeah, I think a lot of people And I don't believe this is true, for the record. I think the Avs have a very good front office and their GM is very good. But I think a lot of people make arguments that by definition would be on the GM and the front office and then blame Jared Bednar for them. It's very weird.
Well, Sheep, what do you want me to explain to you? I just did. You have a goaltender who's not living up to his standard. You have your top performers who are the best players in the world scoring goals and doing their thing. And you're in the position that you're in with 25% of your roster primarily out for pretty much since the start of the season. You can work with what you can work with, but you have a revolving door for players, and you can't expect too much out of a lineup that has a lot of AHL guys in it for the better part of the start of the season. So the fact that they're in the spot that they're in, it's pretty huge. You also have the fact that you're coming off of 2 road trips that were 9 games or 9 days and then 10 days. I mean, it's a tough schedule against good teams. You're on the road for 9 days again and then 10 days. There's a lot going on there, brother, that is out of the control of the coach. So
Jared Bednar can only play the players that the Avs have. He doesn't go up and make trades or do anything like that. The only real player utilization issue I think you can really have with Bednar this year is the way he handled Annunen when Georgiev got healthy. I think that's a fair criticism of his player usage this season. But other than that, Bednar hasn't had a lot of choice. The Avs have essentially been just running the 20 dudes that are healthy for most of the year. So
the fact that he's where he is, thank you for accentuating the point, Tiff. No, good on you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, guys. It's got nothing to do with the coach. Sorry, but it doesn't. Let's talk bets real quick, and then I want to get thoughts on what we think score predictions might be.
Yeah, we can get into the pregame picks. For the record, I'm just going to come out and say this: go bet on a different hockey game tonight. Use Bet365. Don't bet on the Avs. They're not a good bet tonight. If you are betting on the Avs, at least try and win yourself a big amount of money. That's what I did.
You did exemplify their motto, though. These bets are not ordinary.
Look,
Malinsky first goal plus 6,500. You know who Billy picked as the first goal tonight?
Who's that?
Kiviranta.
Hey, look, it's good money at very least if you're going for one of those first goals. I also took Georgiev for a shutout and the Avs to win exactly 4-0 because I want to see them put together a good, complete game. Not a full 60 necessarily, but
shutout.
Play quality hockey. Detroit is a very shutoutable team if you play quality hockey.
Woo!
It's possible. You could do it. I know. Justifiably should not have faith in it happening, but that's why you get plus 4,000 or plus 1,100 or whatever it might be. So.
You and me talked about sniffing glue.
This was gasoline, buddy. Get it together. Make sure instead of doing that, you're betting with Bet365. Use code DNVR365 when you sign up to get your never ordinary bets. And of course, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. I don't really see how Bednar is a 3-year conversation. Like, as a 3-year conversation, okay. 22-23. They won their division.
Yep.
With the most injured team in the league. Yeah, the playoffs were bad, but you have to take into account the whole Val Nichushkin situation shattering an already extremely injured team.
Yep.
Last year, they get into the playoffs. They make it to the second round, despite terrible goaltending for the second half of the season. And the goaltending got better through parts of the playoffs. They make the second round. Again, Val Nichushkin blows up the team in the playoffs. Jared Bednar doesn't have control of that. And if you don't think Val Nichushkin should be on the team, Jared Bednar doesn't have control of that either. Those are not his decisions to make. This year obviously has been what it's been. Incredible injuries. Jared Bednar has helped this team stay above 500 as much as it's been up and down this year with the worst goaltending in the NHL. Could there theoretically be some systems that might help improve their goaltending a little bit? Maybe. But systems don't take the worst goaltender in the NHL and make him a good goaltender. That's on the goaltender themselves to make saves.
Kiviranta for first goal at plus 6,500. $5 wins you 325.
Yeah, it's good money if it hits.
We are going to give that a shot. Billy, I know you're watching, kiddo. Trust me, if that hits, it's a good Christmas for you, brother. Let's get score predictions real quick. What do you think tonight?
I took 4-0 in my bets.
Yep.
Realistically, I think maybe a 5-1 is closer to what you would want.
Okay. Tiff, what do you got?
5-3.
Okay, sick. All right, so just because I'm throwing it in because I know he's watching and you guys are all going to meet him soon. Billy's going, my nephew, with a 5-2 win for the Avs. I'm saying 4-1.
I like it. I
saying
would take
4-1.
any of those numbers. I would take for the Avs.
All right.
So.
All right. Puck drop is coming up again. No watch along tonight, but if you want to tweet at us, we'll respond. Maybe we'll do like some video Q&As. If you are hanging around, come down to the DNVR bar on Colfax, New York. Rudo and I will be wearing this and just literally sitting in the bar, having a drink, watching the game, chilling with you all. Chance to win a snowboard tonight if you come to the bar, so jump in on that. Make sure you're liking, make sure you're following, make sure you're subscribing, and if you aren't a diehard yet, make sure you get in on that. And then, of course, we will have a post-game show for you following the 60 minutes of hockey from the Motor City. For Tiff and Rudo and our boy Big E, I'm Gizmo. We will see you after the game.
We all city like the mayor.